Hello, everyone. Quick podcast today, just me on here. I wanted to go over some of the more, I don't want to say newer products for 2025 or new 2025 products, but products I've recently started using in 2025 or seen. Some of them are brand new, some of them are not. Just kind of go over a quick list, kind of the highlights of what I've seen. Out of the gate, just surprisingly enough, the first thing or the coolest thing that I have found this year is a food product, and it's Off the Farm bars. They have a protein bar and a meal bar. The protein bar is basically an upgraded Perfect bar to me. What Perfect bar is those peanut butter bars that I use. So the Off the Farm protein bar is like they have peanut butter chocolate chip, peanut butter and jelly, straight peanut butter. They got a bunch of meal bars as well that are really good. That's not from the Western Hunt Expo. That's just something I found on Instagram and then have ordered a crap load of them. So definitely check them out. I'm going to look it up here. It's offthefarm.com. And again, I'm pretty picky. I Perfect bars I've eaten for a long time, and I cannot say enough about how good these things are, the ingredients in them. And, I'm not affiliated with them, although I hope to be. I'd like to work with Off the Farm more, getting the word out about them. But a great for backpacking, snack, throughout the course of the day, whatever. They're great. The next thing is the Argali Rincon two-person, I think it's an alpine shelter. So it's basically a floorless shelter that you can put an insert in or a bug net inside with a floor. And it's a two-person. It's really more of a one-person, but you could fit two people in there for sure. For me, the way I've used it, I don't have a ton of field time with it, but I just put the half shell inside or the half insert. So there's enough for me and gear in there. And then the other half is floorless. I could put a stove in there if I wanted, whatever gear, whatever mess I want to create. It's pretty dang lightweight. I have to look it up. I don't want to make these a review when I list them, but you're about 3 pounds with the insert, stakes, pole, whatever, the outer wall, everything combined, but a ton of room in that thing. It's kind of weird. You can read up on not weird. It's, the polyurethane, I guess, the material that they use, it doesn't stretch a whole lot, which is good. And durability wise so far has been amazing. So that's the Argali Rincon two-person shelter. They're out of stock right now, but I talked to Brad, the owner, when I was at Western, and they're definitely going to get more in stock. But a lot of the best of both worlds with that having the insert. The next one is actually the Argali sleeping bag. I tested a bunch of sleeping bags recently. As everybody knows, anybody who's followed along, for the synthetic, I've used the Kafaru. And then as far as a down bag, I've used Western Mountaineering. I tried the Stone Glaciers recently. They make good ones, but the Argali Alpine is the first sleeping bag that I would say will compete with the Western Mountaineering Feathered Friends, type of bags. Definitely on the warmth, right? They're very true to their rating. They're not, what do you want to say, bolstering, some crazy rating that you're going to freeze to death in. They make a couple, different models. When you look at a sleeping bag, and I've talked about this a bunch, but when you look at a sleeping bag, there's like usually a survival rating and a comfort rating. The survivor rating is truly survival. You're going to be, miserable in it. But I've got the 20-degree bag from them. I don't know. I'm going to look it up here. I've got the Alpine 20-degree. And, they have regular and long sizes. It's got plenty of circumference, if you're a bigger guy, so you've got good circumference in there. They have a pillow that you can get as well that I got. I'm not sure if I'll use it or not, but it is, I do like the pillow. Probably have to pad some stuff under it, but they got a 0-degree and a 20-degree bag. So the Argali Alpine sleeping bag's another one that I might switch to totally. I'm not sure if I'm going to use that Rincon all the time or not, but the sleeping bag, supporting an outdoor company to me is important. And again, that's the first bag. Stone Glaciers weren't bad. They're good bags, but I would say the Argali is definitely a little more true to the temp rating as far as comfort goes. The next thing, and I've done a video on this, the Evolution Outdoor Thumb Button Release. I don't know, I can't remember what the hell he's going to call it. I called it the Ibex Thumb Button, but Evolution makes a hinge that I've been using quite a bit. This thumb button hits the exact same spot as the hinge. It's durable. You can set it up pretty hot if you want to. There's not a lot going on with it, which I prefer, so there's not a lot to go wrong with it. He doesn't have it out on the market quite yet. Now, take a drink here. It's high quality H2O. That's something to take a look at. Should be out soon. It is, what is it? February 27th, is that? No, March 27th. Holy cow. Years flying by quick, so it should be out here pretty quick. Next up is the Easton 5mm arrows. I shoot a bunch of different arrows. I'm always testing out shit. But one thing nice with that 5mm arrow is you can actually go it's pretty lightweight arrow and pretty dang durable. So if you're wanting to load up the point weight a little bit, drop down a spine and still shoot a relatively or moderately weighted arrow, it's a great arrow to do that. So I actually dropped down to a 250 spine, on that to get 175 up front, maybe 200 up front. I'm still kind of seeing what shoots better, 200 or 175. So I always like shooting around 175 up front. So the Easton 5mm, that's an arrow I'm probably going to shoot this year. Definitely digging on that thing. Next up is the Team Easties trekking pole and headlamp. So if anybody see me talking about that orange lightweight panel that I use, that's Team Easties. And recently I tried their first version of their headlamp, which was good. The second version, which I recently got in the mail, I like. It's rechargeable. So it's not one you want to use on a long-term like backpack hunt unless you have your battery pack with you to charge it. The one thing that's nice, I like the old version. I didn't really care that the new one, when you hit the button, the red lens comes on first, which is nice. The other one you had to click a couple times, but initial is the red lens headlamp light. So you got the red lens first when you hit the button. I think it's 1700 lumens. It's pretty damn bright. It's got a fairly short run time on 1700, as all headlamps do. You also have a deal on there where you can set it up where it can't turn on and off in your pack, which is really nice. And then the trekking poles, what they did on the trekking poles, which I'm not sure if people have done before or not, but the bottom section is aluminum where it gets all banged up, and then above that is carbon. So, usually I use one trekking pole at a time, or that Ice Axe walking stick, but for trekking pole wise, I don't think you can go wrong with those. Next one, which is, I've talked about these before, the Sig Zulu 6 image stabilizing binoculars. Everybody, I use a ton of binoculars. The NL Pure I use a lot from Swarovski, which is amazing binocular. But that question has been brought up about people using the Zulu 6 and is it better? The Zulu 6 is image stabilizing. So while the glass isn't as good as higher end binoculars, it stabilizes you. So it definitely it is pretty amazing hand holding a set of 16, 18, 20 power binoculars. The one thing I think people overlook is in the truck. If you're glassing from the truck or a Can-Am, or it's super windy and you don't want to throw it on a tripod, they are amazing for that. So that's something. I don't use them all the time. I definitely keep them in my truck all the time. When I'm using real big glass from like the Can-Am glassing, Audad, things like that, I keep them because I don't have to set it up on a tripod. And they're not horribly priced. I think they're $1,600. So I've been very happy with them. Again, I don't use them all the time, but something to take a look at. Certainly good for whitetail hunting too, and they have several different powers and options as far as that goes. Sorry, another water break. Next one up, Gators Eyewear. People see me wearing sunglasses. With Gators, the thing that I probably want to talk about most is you have Gators sunglasses, multiple types. And then you have polarized, which I use a ton, when I'm fly fishing. The thing that I recently found out and I got is they can get your prescription in their eyewear. So you get that durable frame that's tight to your head, or the ones I wear are. and I have my prescription in there, and I can shoot my bow with those on. Before I was using Oakley, but you look like you're ready to go shoot skeet for the Oakleys that I was wearing. So I may still look like a tactical Harry Potter in these, but they're durable, and I can use the same frame. I don't interchange, but I mean the same look I like on the frame. I've got, my vision glasses, my polarized, and my sunglasses. So that's Gator's Eyewear. The dialed proof sight. I did a video. I've talked about that quite a bit. But that is, to me, archery wise, that is definitely the, for version 2, the probably shown the most, word usage here. Word usage. I haven't had enough caffeine. Most improved upon piece of equipment for 2025 from the old to the new. And the new wasn't bad, or excuse me, the old one wasn't bad. The changes that they made were, pretty important to me. So the dialed proof sight. Next one is fly fishing related, but I'm going to add that in here because I'm obviously fly fishing a lot. The Flycraft raft that I got has been great. I wasn't sure if I should get it, and it was a gift when it was given to me from a friend, but the Flycraft Guide Raft, definitely can't suggest that enough. And then the David Scadden Dagger Low Pro. That's another, not a raft, but a pontoon, a one-man vessel that I got. It was on sale, which was good. I got show pricing on it, but that's a little pontoon looking thing that I've got. And that's another one I can't say enough about, and definitely a more affordable option. The next one, as everybody knows, follows along with me at all. I'm pretty much attached at the hip with Montana Knife. They did a custom knife for me called the Jackstone, but one of the knives they recently released, which it's technically a fishing knife, but it's pretty damn good all the way around, a little bit smaller profile, and that's the West Slope. And again, they promoted it as a fishing knife, but I really like that knife profile. A little bit smaller. I keep it in my fly fishing pack all the time. The Born Primitive Heritage long sleeve shirt. I only am bringing that one up because obviously, work for Born Primitive now. That is kind of overlooked. It's really in their athletic or fitness line, but it's a long sleeve synthetic top that I wear far more than anything as a base layer. Dries in the wind. Pretty badass. Garmin Fenix 8. So I've used Garmin forever. I've promoted probably the most the Instinct 2X Solar, I guess. It's a little more affordable version. And up until this point, that's kind of the watch I had told everybody to buy. But the Fenix 8 is the first super high end or it's expensive watch that I would say is worthwhile to get. The battery life is like 27 days, 28 days on it. It offers far more than I'm, really even capable of using. But I do use quite a bit of this, whether that be my fitness and calorie tracking, top right button, hold it down. I get my, grid coordinate I need for navigation. It's got a ton of options on it. So the Garmin Fenix 8. The next is the Grizzly, I use Grizzly, coolers and their little, their water bottles. I use all kinds of their stuff, but the Grizzly Desert Plunge Ice Bath. So Grizzly partnered up with Desert Plunge, and it's their 450 that's been turned into an ice bath, so you don't have to keep pouring ice in it. That is something that, as I've gotten older, been doing a lot more sauna, ice bath, stuff like that. So the Grizzly Desert Plunge is another one that I really think if, you're into the fitness thing and like the ice bath, it's pretty much bomb proof, right? Like you can put it anywhere. You can throw it off a cliff. It's very durable. It's huge. I mean, obviously you're putting your body in there, but I really like that thing. So that's it. This is a 15-minute podcast, probably the shortest one I've done, but I just had this list of stuff that really like. We partner with some of these companies, some of them we don't, but I definitely like all of them. And, on the fly fishing stuff, hopefully people are liking some of the fly fishing stuff I'm doing. I've got Kelly Gallup getting ready to come on the podcast. He's kind of a legend in the fly fishing world, but probably going to be one podcast a month, maybe one every 6 weeks on fly fishing. Hopefully you guys don't mind that. You're going to have to deal with it. But we're also doing a lot of videos on YouTube, so go subscribe to that to make me feel warm and fuzzy. Jerry puts a lot of effort into that. We're doing Q&A, kind of answer a question videos. We've got Tech Tip Tuesdays, and, we're going to be putting a ton more content on there. So I appreciate everyone tuning in, all the great comments. I'm finding out not a lot of people know I'm doing the podcast with Born Primitive, so please tell your friends. Just because people, message me looking for, if I'm going to be doing a podcast again, and I have been doing one for quite some time. So appreciate everyone. Hopefully you guys are doing great this spring. Bear season's coming up soon, so you're going to have to deal with a lot more fly fishing until I start shooting bears. Really just going to hunt Wyoming this year because I'm still going to be fly fishing. But that will be May 15th. We're going to put the bait out, and that's when the party will begin on that. Other than that, appreciate everyone. Talk to you soon.